Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to be talking about what our assumptions are when it comes to the election and how it relates to gold and silver for the rest of the year and starting 2025. We're also going to show you this gold collection that we bought, $50,000. Let's get this video started. Speaking of presidents, for today's giveaway, for your comment, a random comment, we're going to be picking through our generator again. We're going to be having this wonderful box of presidents from the 2007 presidential dollar program, all graded by those guys. So, if you want a chance to win, leave a positive comment. Speaking of new purchases in gold collection, we have 400 active listings on our website, so check them out. All right, guys. So as you know, we have a president-elect and a vice president-elect based on November 5th. And we're not here to talk politics. We're just here to talk about how politics will affect your pocketbook. If you're buying gold, silver, or numismatics, we are not financial advisors, so don't take anything we say seriously. We're just jokers, okay? So we're going to talk about two different administrations. Then we're going to talk about how your dollar has either decreased or increased in value, how metals either decreased or increased in value, how those two relate to each other, and how coins follow metals or follow the dollar. So, as you can see, we just put up two administrations, what we project 2025 to be, what we have seen in the past about year leading up to the election. So, the value of the dollar is basically the opposite of the metal pricing. So if someone believes the dollar is losing its value, doesn't have as much buying power, it's going to increase in value. Okay? So if these two are opposites, they're thinking the dollar is going to decrease in value, which means I can't buy as much as at the grocery store, yada, yada, yada. And the way that we can indicate that your dollar is not having as much value is when you see metals increasing at such a high volume as we're seeing now, and as we've seen in the past few months. Gold's at all-time high, silver is at 34, 20, yada, yada, yada. So, and numismatics is really a reflection of the market of metals and the dollar. It's kind of somewhere in between those two, which means numismatics is kind of not a necessity in a tougher economy, but it also does follow metals because people want to invest in something that is not the dollar. They don't want to be holding money, right? So what we've seen for us is that the numismatic prices have dropped down. A lot of the coins that we've been able to purchase recently have been back a bid, 10% back a bid. Some had to be 15% back a bid. When this administration started and when the other administration was going, we had to pay overbid for pretty much every coin because everything was selling 10, 15, 20% overbid. So if we paid bid or 5% overbid, then that was a reflection of the coin market, right? Numismatics is a reflection of just the U.S. market, which means unless it relates to bullion like $20 St. Gaudens or $20 gold liberties that are common dates. So numismatics does relate to our market because the biggest buyer of numismatics, especially U.S. numismatics, are going to be American citizens. So this is kind of more of a closed market as opposed to how money relates to the world and how metals relates to the world as well. And so these are the bigger players when it comes to looking at how your pocketbook is affected. And this is kind of the third party thing, right? And so if people feel like there's a regain or people are going to have an increased buying power, say under Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, then spot is going to decrease. And what we saw basically on election night and when the markets opened internationally or futures markets, we saw that silver dropped dramatically. I think it dropped $1.50 in a day, and we saw gold drop about $100 that day as well. And so what does that say to us from what we were talking about here? That means that your buying power most likely will be going up. So the belief in the dollar has increased, especially for Americans, just based on the election results, and metals have gone down in value because they are opposites, right? And so what we believe about numismatics, which is nothing that you should take to heart, is that if people have more money to spend, that is not necessities, which means they can be
more loose with their money. They can go to Disney World again. They can go down to Florida and go to the beach. They can go see their family 3 times a year, whatever. They're going to have more money to spend on numismatics because it's not a necessity. It's something that they just enjoy, and they feel more confident in our market and in the United States. And this has nothing to do with 2 administrations. This just has something to do with what people feel like what will happen. So this has nothing to do with politics. This is only something that we can see on our end and how we are going to move forward with our business. You don't have to do that. You can just live your life. But it'll be interesting to see how the rest of 2024 plays out, because if metals continues to drop because people are taking that money and spending it elsewhere because they feel like the economy is great, then it'll just reinforce what we thought. And so just seeing $50 to $100 in gold dropping and losing $1.50 with silver, that's just news from America. And that's not news from the rest of the world. So that's a major, major role in the way that metals look and the way that the dollar will be strengthened. So our assumption when going into the gold buy, which is basically numismatic gold buy, which doesn't have to relate to spot that much. We had to pay over spot for pretty much every coin that's laid out here today, because we have 2.5s, we have 5s, we have 10s, we have 20s. 20s were some better dates as well, which is good. One had a CAC sticker, which is awesome. And just to sum up one last thing from this. So our opinion of the current administration that is moving out in January is that metals you had to pay more money for. You had to pay a premium for. You could see that from the spot price. But numismatics you were able to get a discount at, right? And the reason why is because the demand for metals was very high based on what people felt about the market, especially with their buying power, and numismatics was getting more affordable. So you were able to pick and choose and get the right deal for your money, and the demand for numismatics was lower as well, okay? And so if everything flips like we think it would flip, then, and your buying power goes up, then you'll actually have to spend more money on numismatics because the demand will regain, and people will be more interested in spending their money on numismatics. And you will also have to and receive a discount for metals, because there's a lot of people taking their money out of investing in metals on the stock market, and they're putting it into other stocks, like blue chip stocks, or stocks that they feel will do well in this administration that didn't do well in the previous administration that's moving out in January. So we hope this helps you guys out. Make sure to leave a like.
So as Drew discussed previously on the board was the assumptions that we had going into Election Day. And with this collection, we ended up talking to this individual over a few days and then meeting on Election Day. So in the back of our mind, buying this collection, we knew off the bat that it was either going to do one or the other. So that's a risk that you take operating on a daily basis with fluctuating metals and various other things. So let's get into some of the individual coins and show you what we got. So here are just 4 coins out of the 26 coins that we purchased in this deal. Just the highlights. The rest of them will be on our website, AcoushaCollectibles.com, so you can take a look at the great photos that we are going to be taking of these coins to see if any of them will fit in your collection. So let's take a look at these 4 coins that we picked, the highlights. As you can see, off to this side, we have a 1907 $10, which is the first date of issue. A nice flashy coin, 63. You can't beat it. It's relatively affordable. Once you start getting up into higher grades, then it starts to take off. A nice 2.5 gold piece with a CAC sticker. It is well struck, has great detail. Can't complain. Moving on to the $5. Another earlier date within the series. Just an overall great coin with the CAC sticker. Hasn't been messed with. Very original. Moving on to the last coin that we've picked. It's an 1869S. Great San Francisco coin for sure. Has a CAC sticker. Has that wonderful circulation on the front and the back. Cannot complain. Just a wonderful selection out of the larger batch of coins that we purchased. We hope you enjoy.
Alright guys, so we're going to pick last video's giveaway. We're going to show the winner right now. So we're going to take that link, and then we are going to take it down here, input it there, filter duplicate comments, and then we're going to see how many comments we got. We have 266 unique comments, which is great. And then we're going to pick the winner for some Constitutional Silver. All right, David. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody's comment. Make sure to comment in this video. But if you want to reach out to us, David, it's our email, akushacollectibles@gmail.com, or our Instagram, akushacollectibles.
Thank you guys for watching today's video. We're going to be pumping out more content as we round out the year. We are not stopping for the holidays. As you know, we like to work and drive around the country. So stay tuned for that. We will be buying more collections as we get closer to the year. So stick around. We appreciate you. Talk to you soon.